Yes, guys, you're welcome again. Thanks for joining us this day again. Joining us on the authors experience. I'm back again with one of my authors, which is Oris Riz. She's the author of the Healing Letters, and she'll be chatting with us a little bit more about the book Healing Letters. I'm hoping that by now you guys would have got a copy of the book. If you've not got a copy of the book, don't worry. You have all the links there. We want you to go out there and buy a copy of the Healing Letters, and then share it with your friends and family. So here we go. You're welcome again. Can you quickly introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, I'm Mauri Viz, author of Healing Letters. I'm born in Angola, grew up in Portugal. I'm living here in West Midlands, UK, for over 14 years now. And I'm looking forward to speak a little bit more about my book and having you buying the book and giving me some reviews on Amazon.
Exactly. Yeah, that is what we're looking forward to. So tell us, I'm going to start with something different today. We've talked about so many things. We talked about the smile, behind why we smile as women. We talked about what else did we talk about last week? We talked
Uh,
about yeah, we talk about smile. The
yes.
smile behind the face, the reason why we put up all the smiles. We talked about, those two faces in our lives, two things in our lives that you can see as two faces. So those are things. But today we're just really going to start to talk about something, and you can see from the way I'm a little bit, in a remorse state, and we talk about grief.
Yes.
And I know that grief is something that sometimes only, most people, I would say, do associate grief to death. But there's more to grief because there's so many things you can be grieving for. It could be a breakdown in your relationship. It could be a child. It could be a child lost. It could be your parents. It could be your income. It could be your career in terms of your career. It could be your education. It could be your ambition, things in life that you want to be. It could be the decisions you make because sometimes we make those kind of critical decisions about our life, about the next step, and then you realize that, oh, did I make the right decision? And you go into that state of grief. So tell us, what is grief like for you, and how does the healing letters talk about grief?
So, like you said, Susanna, grief can be all of these things, but in my book, Healing Letters, I think it's in my third chapter. The way I address grief, it's when I done an abortion in quite a young age. So for me, at the beginning, when I took the decision, from the moment I realized I was pregnant, I knew I couldn't be a mother. I knew I wasn't prepared to be a mother. I knew with the conflicting relationship I had at home with my parents, my family, I had nowhere to go. So having that child, I had to remain there with them. So living with them was already difficult. Bringing a child to the equation would be even worse. So I went ahead and decided to have an abortion at a time in Portugal was illegal. So I had to go through all of that on my own because the father of the child, my unborn child, wasn't really very supportive. And so after everything happened, I didn't felt like I was entitled to grieve that loss. um, some people might say, well, but you decided to do it, and you and that it's true, but I had my reasons, good or bad. I had my reasons to do so and to proceed with that. And because I didn't felt entitled to grieve it, or even to talk about it because I was scared, I live with that remorse inside of me. I basically had a bit of depression where I was just going to work, home, work. Didn't talk with anyone about it. Some people knew, so two friends, I think, if I'm not wrong, and a person that helped me with that, and my boyfriend at the time. And I was prisoner of my own thoughts, of my own bad feelings, of everything, because in any other situation, I know, I don't know if I put that in the book, but I know in any other situations, although I was young, I'll probably would went ahead with the pregnancy until the end. But in that situation, I just thought most of the times I didn't want to leave myself. So how could I bring someone else into the world to be coming to that pain that I was feeling, and
Feeling.
that was, yes. So
Yeah.
and then I had to come to terms with that, and when I was able to talk about it and grieve from that, that's when I found my peace. That it wasn't the best decision of my life, but it was for the good reasons that I thought it was better for me. And from the moment I talk about it, I felt better about it.
Yeah, I know when you talk about grief, it's a sensitive thing, and especially when you're talking about grief in terms of abortion, because abortion is become a sensitive thing to Christians, to people that in general. Some people, we all have different ways which our attitude towards what people having an abortion, at whatever stage of our life. And I know that a lot of people have made that decision to have abortion, that they still live with the regret up till now. Some people take it, some people live with the regret, some people constantly grieve it because they might not even have another chance to have a child in the world, and they constantly go back to that decision, thinking that that decision was the one that deprived them the opportunity to have a child in life. And then some people just feel that it was taken away from them, the ability to be able to make the decision to keep the child. And that becomes something they grieve, not even the decision they make, but the fact that they feel that they were not in a position to make the right decision about what has happened to them. So it is really sensitive, and I know that this is something that is close to your heart, and you've really extensively talk about it in your book, The Healing Letters. And for those women that is out there that you might have one way or the other experience abortion at a younger age, at a tender age, even if you're older, you're just newly married, or even in a relationship, a long time relationship, and you have to have abortion, or even whatever state you've had to make that decision in your life. Go and get the book Healing Letters. Just share with other people like-minded like you that have had the experience and is sharing it, just like you are always there sharing it with everyone. You've written the book so that you can share your own deeper thoughts, your own grief, and for other people to be able to profit from it, in the sense that it can give them peace and comfort at their own thinking and at their own time. Now, when you wrote this book, Healing Letters, there's so many things that is there, and I'm hoping that people will pick it up on Amazon, or you can click on the link which we have. You talked about monster. You talk about and when I was reading it, I was saying to myself that we all have those kind of monsters in our life, but they show up in different ways. How did yours show up?
Mine show into a relationship. So after 2 years separated from my son's father, I thought it was time for me to move on. And so because I was a busy person, I'm still am a busy person. I think more now than before. But I just thought some of my friends said maybe the best solution for me was to go online and meet someone, which I did. And he was the first and last person that I met online because I got traumatized. So, but just to be clear, a monster behind someone personality, it can be anyone in your life. It can be a friend, it can be a parent. But in my case, it was in a romantic relationship. So it's the gentleman that comes to you showing treating you like a princess, giving you the world in few couple of days, in a week if necessary. And then after it feels like you are under his thumbs, he just completely changed in a way that you just don't understand. And because you don't understand, you keep chasing for that gentleman, and they keep making you believe that you done something wrong, and that's why they behaving towards you in that way. And so because you start in believing that, you keep chasing that high, that gentleman. So you stay in a cycle where that person will never come back, which is the gentleman that got you into that situation, the prince, the king that you thought you had, that you finally found. And so you stay there chasing that gentleman, and they continue to show you the monster behind their personality, behind the smile that you thought was sweet and kind to you. And because I never consumed drugs, but I know people that did, and they say it's like chasing that first high. You'll never get that first high that got you addicted to the drugs. So it's kind of the same situation. It's a cycle, so you need to be aware of the red flags, because no relationship starts as in that romantic way where everything is perfect. Things from the day one, you might have some disagreement with the person, but that's the healthy way of going sometimes, because you need to discuss things to understand what our personalities can match, where we can meet halfway, where I'm not willing to lose my identity to meet yours, where I can actually make accommodations to have the person is not just the person showing everything into a 1 week or 2 days that they tell you everything that you can hear, and then after a week you start asking questions and they make you feel like you are a lunatic, you are crazy. So that was my kind of most. I was in a relationship with a narcissistic person, and it's a relationship that you can never win. So
Yeah.
that was basically my experience.
Yeah, which is really true. Somebody from Uganda, we have someone from Uganda saying, watching us from Uganda, and saying that sometimes when you grieve, it brings peace into your life.
Yes.
That it's
Yes.
not, yeah, because you have an opportunity to relieve those things, and then to deal with it during within your grief, and then hopefully that at the end of that tunnel you can find peace within yourself. So we're hoping that when people read this book, the healing letters, they could find peace from sharing your own story with the world. Now, when you got the books, you had so many people there that you dedicate. There's someone you dedicate the book to, the people you acknowledge that have played a significant role in the process of writing the book, and for those of the people that also you share this journey with. Can you just tell us one person that stand out for you? We talk about more of them, but one person that stand out for you when you did the
Um, so my mom. I know I have my son and my his godmother as well, but for me it's my mom, because I'm the woman that I am today because of her. To publish my book, I thought some of the subjects should be upset, but she didn't, and she actually helped me pay for the book. And at the same time, most of my trials and tribulations going up was because of my relationship with her. But then when I became a woman, and I became a mother, I was able to understand her and forgive some of her behavior, because I understood how hard it is, and sometimes you just go with the flow if it makes sense.
Yeah, it
So
does.
it was important for me to acknowledge her, because let me tell you something, being a parent is hard, and she came from a time where there was not much information as today, and she still did an amazing job. And so I needed to leave that mark in the book. She doesn't read English, but I did translate to her, and I'm intending to translate the book to Portuguese so she's able
Oh,
to.
that would be fantastic.
And so yeah, I needed to. She's the main person. I have three people in the book that for me was important to do the dedications, but she was the main one,
Yeah,
as
we,
I can
we
say.
we will definitely talk about the other people that are part of the people which you dedicate the book, and those people that you acknowledge in your book, and then this person that does the forwarding for the book for yourself. So there's so many things more to come in the book that we are going to be talking about. And for all of you that have been watching us each week, you join us again next week. Always look out for information on our page. We have the African Caribbean Author Island. It is a group whereby we have African Caribbean authors. So if you're an author, go and join that book, and you'll find a recording of this conversation myself on the African author experience with our author of the month. which is the author that wrote the healing letter, or Aurea Ruiz, that wrote the healing letters. So you will find this is the second week that we've been talking about the book. If you've not got a copy, go there. You see all the links where you can get the book. Everything is shared. If you need a signed copy, I also put information for those of you that might need a signed copy of this book. Go and get the healing letters. And for myself and the author, always, do you want to say bye to everyone?
Yes, bye. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Have a good weekend.
And we'll see you again next week
Yeah,
talking
bye.
about the healing letters. So go and get a copy. Go and get a copy of healing letters. The Mother's Day is coming. Next month is going to be, it's about all March is about mothers, it's about women. So go and get a copy. The Valentine, get something for someone for Valentine.
Yeah.
Valentine is just around the corner, a few days to go. So if you're looking for a vow and you want to impress her to say yes, or just to remind your loved ones how much you love them, get them a copy of this book, and you won't regret getting it. And before we go, we just have to sing you guys out and let you get to know a little bit more about us, about the African author experience, about our author for the healing letters, Rural or Ruiz. Did I pronounce that well?
Aurea Reis, yeah.
Oh,